Welcome to Cosmic Diaries. This is Priya Kali, your astrologer, and we're looking at the astrology for the week of July 29th to August 5th. This week we're heading to the Leo new moon on the 4th of August. Also on the 5th of August, just after midnight here in New York, Mercury stations retrograde. Venus will square Uranus this week. Also, Venus moves out of Leo into Virgo just after the new moon. And the moon is quite busy, so we're processing a lot emotionally as well. Especially as we move through the week, the moon is waning, and we're in the waning cycle of the moon as we move to the new moon on the 4th of August. This is a time of deep release, of clearing out, and this is a new moon in Leo, which means we're moving within ourselves to reconnect with our hearts and our true selves within, to drop the mask and drop the ego that prevents us from acknowledging our heart's true desires. I'm going to get into what's coming up this week and run through the daily aspects. As I record this, as we enter the week, we're at the halfway point between the Capricorn full moon, which took place on the 21st of July, and the Leo new moon on the 4th of August. And this halfway point, this last quarter phase of the moon, is really a chance to pause and, the moon is currently in Taurus, so it's time to really get grounded in your values and what is important to you. And the sun is in Leo, which means connecting with our hearts and our innermost selves and that light within. Also, it's important to note, given this is that halfway point, we're moving inward now over the coming week, but we are halfway between the Capricorn full moon, which took place on the 21st of July. And I just want to touch on that for a minute, since I haven't recorded a podcast in a minute either. This was the second Capricorn full moon this year. Usually we have one full moon and one new moon per sign. So when we have two full moons, we call it a blue moon, and it's fairly rare. And in astrology, anytime anything is rare, it has a greater impact and significance. Additionally, this Capricorn full moon took place at 29 degrees of Capricorn, which is the most potent degree of any sign, the 29th degree, which is known as the anaretic degree. It's a hot degree right now because Pluto is going to re-enter Capricorn and trigger this degree from the 2nd of September until the 17th of November. And this is Pluto's final pass through Capricorn, and Pluto is going to be moving through here, just wrapping up unfinished business. So pay attention to what's been surfacing over the past week and what's come up at the time of this Capricorn full moon, and over this last week, because now we're getting a glimpse into what's coming up further down the road in between September and November, when Pluto will make a clean sweep of this territory. So the more we can release the past now, the easier transition will be once Pluto arrives. And again, Pluto's transition through Capricorn has been underway since 2008. It's a slow and gradual process, and Pluto works in the shadows. So look back to what's been unfolding in your life since 2008. There's been a gradual process of change that's been underway. Now, this is the end of this transformation that you've been under through all of these years and through all the peaks and valleys. Capricorn is a sign that speaks of maturity, of responsibility, of duty. It's a Saturn-ruled sign, so it speaks of peaks of consciousness, of human consciousness and humanity. The world around us is changing. In that, you are and I am as much a part of this greater whole as anyone. And we can't really change anything outside of ourselves. This Capricorn full moon really is a call to growth and a moment for maturity. It's a growing moment, which means there may be growing pains that we're experiencing right now. And Capricorn speaks of time, Saturn speaks of time. So think of these as these growing pains. We're learning important lessons. It's time to learn our lessons, embody them, but to release a weight and let go of what's served its purpose and what you've outgrown. Relationships are deepening, bonds are deepening, and others are changing form and shape, because full moons will bring us to the end of a cycle. So we've reached a peak with something in our lives, and it's time to now release what we've outgrown so we can make space for a future that we're creating and building and strengthen the foundations for our future. soon after the full moon, the sun entered Leo, and of course, the sun is currently in Leo as I record this, and now we're at this halfway point. Take a look back at what's been unfolding over the past week, learn your lessons, dig deep for your values as you move through the 28th, 29th, and be present, be spontaneous, acknowledge who you are today, and be true to who you are today. Then you can release anything else that's weighing you down and preventing your progress as you move ahead. Starting with July 29th, the moon is moving through Taurus, conjuncts Uranus, and will make a sextile to Neptune at 5 p.m. So there are unpredictable developments taking place. Mostly it's emotional. Remain detached. You can't lose what's real. We may be surprised with the depth of our own emotions, but we're in a process of filtering out and releasing what's been overgrown and taking up space. So with the moon in Taurus on the 29th till 5 p.m. New York time, move slowly. The energy is creative, sensual, earthy. It's a great time to take a walk in nature, to really indulge your senses and get grounded in your present reality, because there's inspiration to be found and there's unexpected discoveries that we're making that could really delight us and soothe our souls in a way. The moon enters Gemini at 5:28 p.m. in New York, and then will immediately trine Pluto at about 6:42 p.m. and then squares Mercury. So once the moon enters Gemini, the energy shifts and it's more mental and cerebral. We're having conversations, we're reaching a deeper understanding, and above all, it's important that we're just being honest with ourselves rather than looking externally for answers. Because we are now in the waning phase of the moon and there are deep insights coming through. So be really honest with yourself and avoid going to extremes. Then you can trust the choices. Gemini also represents choices, so there may be choices arising. Then you can trust, if we're not attached to outcomes and we're just being honest with ourselves, we can make choices that are right for us. On the 30th of July, the moon will conjunct Mars overnight, or rather early in the morning at 5 a.m., 5:01 a.m. So this could be great if you want to get a head start on your day and you wake up early and want to get stuff done. But that said, even if you do wake up early, make time to meditate and really reconnect with yourself and your sense of being, and make sure that you're being driven with that sense of passion rather than any sense of fear. Because with the moon in Gemini, mental state really matters here. And any choices that we make in fear tend to be destructive or at least lead to self-sabotage. There's a need to really quiet the mind and really align ourselves with our intentions, thoughts, words, and deeds. Then we can take the right action in the right way. That alignment comes through meditation and silence and just reconnecting with ourselves. On the 30th of July, if you feel, especially if you're worried about something and feeling restless about something, then it's a great time to just meditate and reconnect with yourself. The moon will then sextile the sun and then conjuncts Jupiter that evening at 6:45 p.m. So there is a sense that if we can really calm down and reconnect with ourselves, we can see the light. And then there's a need to have faith and to trust the light that we see at the end of a tunnel. Because it may seem like we're staring down the end of a dark tunnel, but we are moving to the Leo new moon, and Leo is the sign that rules the sun. Leo is the sign that is ruled by the sun. And as they say, the darkest hour is before the dawn. So with the moon in Gemini, it could be very easy for us to be experiencing those contrasts of life where, the brighter the light, the darker the shadow. So just the more we can keep our mental state calm, we can find a middle path and walk towards the light in faith of the universe, of existence, and the natural rhythms of life and the seasons of our life. And that's really what astrology is. We're just looking at the cycles of the planets, and at best, we can remain centered and not be caught up in this infinite wheel of fortune that goes up and down. So the more centered we can be, we can navigate towards the light in faith. And with the moon conjunct Jupiter, there really is a sense of, at best, being able to see the silver lining in something. Even if something's been hanging over you like a dark cloud, the more grateful we can be, we can start to see the blessings that perhaps may be in disguise but are really here for us. So be wise, be kind, be patient, and have faith that you're being guided now. And definitely pay attention to the insights that are coming through on the 30th in the evening. Then on the 31st of July, overnight, the moon squares Saturn. So, and then will sextile Venus at 1:33 p.m. and will square Neptune at 10:46 p.m. So the energy is still quite cerebral and mental through July 31st until late at night when the moon enters Cancer at 11:19 p.m. Then we're kind of diving into our emotions. But through the 31st of July, just think that we're kind of being put through the wash. And we have a lot of information that we're processing, a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, perhaps conversations. Remember now, Mercury is slowing down to a halt. So there is important information surfacing, and we're in this, deep waning new moon, moving to the new moon phase. So there is a lot of insights coming through from within us as well. So it's important that we're at least quietening the mental chatter so we can hear our inner voice. And definitely quietening the mental chatter so we're not taking in too many opinions around us. Listen to your heart now because it's speaking loud and clear and it has the answers for you. But we have to be quiet enough to listen. Leo, the sun is in Leo and Venus, the moon sextiles Venus. Love is the answer, whatever the question, So be creative, be loving, be kind, and you can find a way forward. Then once the moon enters Cancer at 11:19 p.m. on the 31st of July, we're diving into our emotions and feelings more. And now the sun and moon are both in their home signs. So, and through August 1st, the moon will continue to move through Cancer and will make a sextile to Mercury. So this is really, encouraging energy because we're feeling at best, we're reconnecting with ourselves on a deep level. Because the moon is in its home sign of Cancer, the sun is in its home sign of Leo. And the moon and the sun are the two lights in the sky. In astrology, they're called the two luminaries. So with both the luminaries in their home signs, there's really a sense of feeling like we're coming home to ourselves. And the moon will also sextile Mercury on the 1st of August. So there may be, we may be having healing conversations, reaching a deeper understanding, or learning information that really helps us find a deeper sense of security and within ourselves. And certainly with others, allowing us to deepen bonds with others as well. There's a need for vulnerable. The sun in Leo and the moon in Cancer, there's a need to be vulnerable and allow ourselves to be able to connect from the heart and to drop down our masks and our defense mechanisms if we truly want to communicate and connect with someone or the world around us. So the energy really feels luminous and sparkling like sunshine on water. So make the most of it, be open to inspiration, communicate from the heart, which means learning to listen as much as we're willing to share and speak what's in the heart. And try not to worry about things too much. You may not have all the answers. Mercury is in Virgo and slowing down to a halt. So we're learning, very important information. And the more we can simplify things now, because we're also in the waning phase of the moon, the easier it will be to find clarity on what we need. Then because on the 2nd of August, we have a major aspect coming up as Venus squares Uranus. And Venus is in Leo, Uranus is in Taurus, which is Venus's home sign. And there are unpredictable developments taking place, breakthroughs, and we're turning a corner. That said, and the more detached we can be, the greater there'll be a sense of feeling liberated rather than feeling shocked by anything that unfolds. That said, the moon will trine Uranus after this aspect, so it feels like, no matter what happens or how this aspect plays out, we're releasing emotional baggage. And this might be historic emotional baggage, given the moon is in Cancer, which deals with our childhood, and we're coming down from the Capricorn full moon, which is speaks of ancient historic situations and conditioning. And we're now in this deep waiting phase. So there may be, we're releasing a lot of emotional baggage right now. Stay in the present, and especially if you're feeling triggered by any situation, the more you can release your emotions consciously, it'll be easier not to project them out onto situations that are naturally finding their own level. So situations are leveling out, but there's a need for patience with this process and recognizing that we don't have control over what's unfolding, or rather, the only control we have is how we respond to situations. So, the more we can stay centered in our values and in our heart, and then remain detached from outcomes, then trust that you can't lose anything that's real. And what's really being revealed to us is, learning what's truly valuable here, and we're being revealed what's truly precious, which is a heart of gold. So be true to yourself, your values, and your heart, and then trust whatever else unfolds is clearing space for what's real and precious, so you can redirect and devote your energy to what matters. Because then on the 3rd of August, the Cancer moon will sextile Uranus and then trine Neptune. So we're continuing in this theme and process of releasing the past and emotional baggage, and just clearing out and filtering out the past so we can make room for the present and enter deeper into the present. Because the moon will trine Neptune at 6:32 a.m. in the morning on the 3rd of August. And definitely pay attention to your dreams this morning, given the moon is trine Neptune. There may be important insights and messages coming through your dreams. The energy is very psychic, intuitive, dreamy, creative. So there might be even inspiration that's coming through in your dreams, or something that has been percolating in your psyche, and finally you have a sense of clarity on this. After the moon trines Neptune, then the moon enters Leo at 7:10 a.m. on the 3rd of August, and will sextiles Mars just overnight at 1:54 a.m. in New York, and then meets the sun and reaches new moon at 7:13 a.m. on the 4th of August. Soon after the new moon will be sextile Jupiter, and in the chart for the new moon, Venus is now at 29 degrees of Leo and enters Virgo at 10:22 p.m. And then Mercury stations retrograde just after midnight on the 5th of August at 12:56 a.m. in New York. The moon continues to move through Leo at this time and will finally square Uranus at 11:16 a.m. on the 5th, and then will be void until 5:17 p.m. when it enters Virgo. On the 3rd of August, as the moon moves through Leo and you're moving through this deep waning phase, move inward, reconnect with yourself, your heart, drop the ego, drop the masks. This is the end of a cycle before a new cycle beginning on the 4th with the new moon. So you may feel like you're very low on energy, and at the time of a new moon, it's always the time to go inward, because there's no light in the sky. We can't see the moon in the sky, and this is the new moon in Leo, so it's like, it's the darkest hour before the dawn, literally. But have faith in a natural process, and just like the sun rises every day, there will be a new cycle that begins tomorrow with the new moon. For now, what's needed is that we reconnect with ourselves and our hearts within and the light within, and trust that life that's alive within you, the consciousness that's alive within you. Have faith in that life force as you move through the day. And if you can reconnect with that light as you drop the ego and drop the masks, then no darkness can really threaten you, because then you're carrying that light. It's like, darkness exists in the absence of light. And what is light other than consciousness? That is the energy of Leo. This is very creative energy, very sexual energy, passionate energy. And it's a chance to reconnect with our inner sexuality, our inner child, our sense of fun and youth and spontaneity, and what makes us come alive. And reconnect with that within, because all the happiness in the world that's external is transient ultimately. And if we want to stay connected to that infinite source of happiness, that can only be found within us. So reconnect with that sense of self within as you move through the 3rd of August. On the 4th of August, once the moon meets the sun at 7:13 a.m., we're entering a whole new cycle. But and the moon is sextile Jupiter, so there's a great sense of expansiveness and hope and optimism, maybe cautious optimism, but there is a sense of optimism that's in the air. That said, Mercury is now stationary and about to station retrograde in less than 24 hours of this new cycle. So we're learning information now. And Venus, well, let's talk about Venus before we get to Mercury. Venus is at the end of Leo, 29 degrees of Leo at the time of this new moon, and enters Virgo hours later at 10:22 p.m. on the 4th of August. So with Venus at the end of Leo at the time of this new moon, we're really becoming aware of our heart's desires, and there's a need to again drop any sense of pride and defensiveness and drop the masks and the ego and just allow ourselves to be really vulnerable and at least acknowledge our heart's desires. We don't have to act on everything we feel, but it's important that we're conscious and we're aware of what we're feeling, because and staying inwardly connected, because it's when we're unconscious that we tend to act out in ways that are out of alignment with our true selves. And Leo, ultimately being the sign of the self, what's needed now is authenticity. Leo is a sign that speaks of the heart. It asks for courage and spontaneity and the ability to stay present in this present moment. It speaks of the eternal here and now. So stay present with whatever's surfacing now. We're becoming really aware of our desires. We're seeing new ways forward, and hopefully we're seeing things with new eyes, with eyes of the heart, rather than with our ego and defenses up and our walls up. And it will take courage, whatever's surfacing now. There is a need for courage and to be really authentic and to show up authentically. And there very much may be that sense of feeling exposed or feeling like all eyes are on you. But have faith, whatever's surfacing now, this is a challenge that you can rise to. And there's every reason for you to feel proud of how far you've come. None of us are perfect, but in acknowledging even where we need to perhaps grow, in that vulnerability is our strength. So be proud of who you are and how far you've come, but acknowledge that there's a lot more for you to learn, for us to learn. Because once Venus enters Virgo at 10:22 p.m., and then shortly after, Mercury will station retrograde. So with Venus entering Virgo, Venus will be in Virgo until the 29th of August, and Mercury stations direct on the 28th of August. So pretty much this whole Mercury retrograde phase, Venus is in Virgo, and Virgo is a sign that speaks of healing. So wherever, our hearts have felt perhaps raw or bruised, or maybe even our egos, there's a chance for healing now, financially as well, creatively as well, in creative situations. This is a whole new cycle, and we're seeing new possibilities forward. What matters is that we're not now letting the fear of failure or rejection prevent us from reaching for what we truly desire and showing up fully and authentically with an open heart and an open mind. Because with the current astrology, there's definitely an element of trial and error here. It's just a matter of us being able to try and not be afraid to make any mistakes, because that's how we will learn. And this is very much a learning curve. So, with Venus moving through Virgo through August, it's certainly time to heal our hearts, heal relationships, take things a day at a time, even financially. A little planning will go a long way. Maybe revising your budget, taking a look at your budget, looking at how you can manage your resources better. When it comes to relationships, little thoughtful gestures will go a long way, rather than, the grand gestures that Leo loves. Now with Venus and Virgo, this is all about the little thoughtful things. Can you include someone in your life? Can you integrate someone into your daily routine? And vice versa. Do you feel included? Do you feel like you're part of a team in your relationships? What is and isn't working for you? Acknowledge that. Then you can work to find solutions with others, rather than, picking at scabs or looking for faults. Because if we look for faults, we'll find faults in everyone, and in everything. It's more a matter of now looking at what is and isn't working for you, then you can make necessary adjustments and improvements. And with Mercury now stationary, about to station retrograde, we're learning important information. And there may be very well second chances now where something that we thought we'd given up hope on, we're seeing new ways forward. And we're seeing that there's a lot more to a situation and there's deeper layers that we still need to understand. So, Mercury has been traveling in shadow since the 17th of July. And now Mercury will be retrograde until the 28th of August. So, during this time between now and the 28th of August, we're kind of recovering the conversations and information that we've been learning since the 17th of July. And we're unearthing and uncovering deeper layers of information. We're understanding situations on a deeper level. This is a chance to have healing conversations. Certainly, I did not mention, but I will mention now, is if you have any important purchases to make, contracts to sign, ideally I would do it before Mercury stations retrograde. Also, if there's any communication that you need to initiate for the first time, then I would suggest you do it before the retrograde. Then once Mercury is retrograde, you'll have time to renegotiate. But a retrograde Mercury is ideally not the time to initiate anything new. It's a time for revision of what's already underway. If you have any arrangements and contracts that you need to renegotiate or revise, a retrograde period would be a great time to do it. And if there's been any communication breakdowns, this may be a time to reach a deeper understanding. On the other hand, if it feels like, communication is unraveling somewhere, then maybe silence might be the better answer. Because Mercury rules communication in the mind, and with Mercury in Virgo, Virgo is very much the hermit energy from the tarot card. So this is a time to go inward and to listen to the inner voice, and certainly silence can help simplify matters rather than complicate situations with too much word and thought and talking without really saying much. So sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Trust that. And pay attention to your own mental health, because with new moon in Leo, we are the creators of our reality. Leo is very creative energy and, rules our consciousness. So with Mercury going retrograde at the time of this new moon, there are second chances on offer, and there's healing for relationships, finding relationships that really work, that are supportive of us, and finding financial support even, or support in whatever respect that we need, and the love that we need is around us. It's just a matter of us now being able to recognize it. And ultimately, the Leo new moon is a reminder that you are the center of your universe, as at least from your standpoint. So with the sun new moon in Leo, which speaks of our primary consciousness, ask yourself, what are you radiating out into your world? Is it love, compassion, kindness? Or are you being resentful or fearful or closed up because of your experiences in the past? This is a new cycle, and although Mercury is stationing retrograde, this is a chance to really, have those second chances and create something new, and to understand that nothing is a mistake. The universe does not make mistakes, and even what we consider to be mistakes are ultimately a journey of learning. And your whole life has led up to this day and this moment and made you who you are today. Your experiences have made you who you are today. And it's the wisdom of those experiences that really lives on through you. And think now through August with Mercury retrograde, we're really in a process of learning something on a deeper level. And at the time of this new moon, we're understanding ourselves on a deeper level. Our desires, what makes us tick, what we want, what heals us, what works for us, and what doesn't. And with this new moon in a sextile to Jupiter, there really is a sense that, there's a lot to hope for here. And as long as we can learn from our own quote unquote mistakes and the past, we needn't fear repeating the past and repeating cycles unconsciously. This is a chance to create something new and really understand the wealth of support that is available to us and what might be needed now in any situation that feels like it isn't working. Might just be a small adjustment, because Mercury in Virgo ultimately it's very precise energy and very detail focused energy. So a small mind shift might be all that's needed to look at something and see something in a whole new light. So the 4th, we have this new moon. Venus enters Virgo, and then on the 5th, as I mentioned, Mercury stations retrograde just after midnight, and the moon will continue through Virgo on the 5th. And another reason this, and of course I'll be back with you next week, but another reason this new moon is very significant is because first of all, new moons are new beginnings. It's a time when we're seeding cycles. With this Mercury retrograde, although it's a new cycle, it's more like, we're looking at the recent past with new eyes, giving us second chances to, shape something with greater awareness, greater self-awareness above all. But the reason this new moon is so profound is because it's leading up to the full moon in Aquarius on the 19th of August. And the middle of August, starting about the 15th of August to the 19th, we have a really dense patch of astrology that we're moving through. We're reaching a pivotal point in the year and in our life's journey and in our soul's journey. So mark the middle of August on your calendar and really look at what's coming up then. And we're already living the story. So it's not, nothing happens in a vacuum in the sky or here below in our lives. This is a story that's been developing now. And this is this narrative of Jupiter and Gemini that's really coming home to us. Because at the time of the full moon, Jupiter will be square Saturn in Pisces. And this is the first of 2 squares that Jupiter makes to Saturn in Gemini. Then it'll make a third and final square once it enters Cancer next year. So the second Jupiter-Saturn square will take place in December. Anyway, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but this new moon is leading up to this August 19th full moon in Aquarius, when Jupiter will be square Saturn, bringing us to a pivotal turning point. We're reaching major forks in the road in our life's journey, and there will be a need for awareness. So move in awareness now as you enter this new cycle, and pay attention to the seeds that you're planting, and make sure that you're really staying aligned with yourself and your heart's true desires, and then having the courage to be true to yourself and to dare to follow your heart. Then trust you can create a life or manifest a life externally that mirrors an inner reality and truth. So that's the week in a nutshell, and it's a big week certainly as we move to the end of the week, because through the week the moon is making plenty of aspects, so we're processing a lot emotionally. But as we reach near the new moon, we are reaching a breakthrough, helping us really clear the slate of the past before we have this new beginning with the Leo new moon, and we can nurture and tend to the seeds that are now, slowly starting to blossom and what's slowly taking root in our lives. So I'll have a lot more to say, and I will be back next week. I plan to continue to do these weekly. I'm sorry for having dropped off for a minute. I was busy with my readings, consultations, and also my spiritual teacher, my Amma, my guru, is in the US. So I've been deepening my spiritual practice, meditating with her as well. So life has been full, but that said, I do want to get back to doing these regularly. And I would certainly appreciate your support, which would go a long way in helping me be more consistent. So if you get anything out of these podcasts, I appreciate you making a donation or signing up for a monthly subscription. It really helps me a lot. And of course, if you want deeper insight into your chart, I would love to work with you. Nothing replaces a chart reading. This is, just a general forecast and the best that I can do. But if you're interested, I would love to work with you and get into it in your chart. So do email me for reading at priya@cosmicdiaries.com, and we can set something up. But with that, I will stop here for now, and I'm sending you all my love wherever you are. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks for listening. Namaste.